Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski with DOstampingWithDawn.com, and I'm here with another How'd She Do That video. And today, this card features a couple different new products for Stampin' Up. They're in the Occasions 2018 catalog, and we got the Brusho Crystal Colour, which I'll talk more about later. And then we also have the Hold On to Hope. It's a bundle with stamp sets and coordinating framelits. So I'm really excited to show you this project that features a fun watercolor background. So let's get started. Alright, so to create this kind of fun background, we're going to use the Brusho Crystal Colors, and they come with 5 colors. So there's 3 in the box here. We have a yellow, a gamboge, and a moss green. The gamboge is like an orange, and then we have brilliant red and Prussian blue. So what I've done is that I didn't open these. I was tempted to, because it comes with this kind of thing that you would pull off, but I instead, based on some tips, I used a this is like a pin, push pin, and I pushed it in, and that's where it's going to release the powder from. I'll show you. So you just give it a tap and it comes out, and really you just give it a small tap, because you can tap it a few times, but if you tap it too hard you get too much in one place. Kind of less is more a little bit on this. So, and then you want to keep the push pins in there to keep the moisture out. Alright, so there's some tips on that. It's showing on page 26 in the Occasions catalog right here, and because it's so small, you may have missed it. So you can create watercolor washes, sprinkle directly on water wash paper, which is what we're going to do. You can use it to create different colors by mixing a few of them. There's all kinds of things, but basically I'm going to show you a really simple one today. So you do need an aqua painter, and it's just filled with water, regular tap water, and then we're going to use it to put a lot of water. We're going to apply a lot of water on our watercolor paper. So that is the other thing that you'll need for this technique. It's going to hold up better. You could probably try it with our shimmery white, but the watercolor paper is probably going to be best. This measures 4 by 5 1/4 inch. It's just a regular like panel that you'd put on top of a card. We're going to keep our water kind of in the middle, and I'm kind of I don't know how to explain it, kind of pressing on my aqua painter to get the water to come out, because I kind of want lots of water. And I'm making it just kind of move around a little bit, but still just keeping it in the middle. Alright, so we're kind of ready to add the color. I'm just going to do a couple little taps, and you can see it's already starting to dissolve. I have it in areas where I don't have water, and I'm just going to add just a wee bit of red. Now, as this starts to dry, it's actually going to kind of continue to dissolve, I guess is another way to put it. And while this is doing that a little bit, let me show you some other ones that I have here. So you never know what they're going to look like. Depends on how much of the powder that you put on there. And this one is very dark, so there was a lot more blue put on it. And this one had, it kind of concentrated. It didn't dissolve as much in those areas, but it creates kind of a different sort of pattern. Same with this one. And this one's really dark. So this one had a lot of water on it. So, you know, you have to kind of experiment with how much water you put on there. So, you know, this one's even, and then you can even move. See how this water can be moved around to create even more pattern. And then as it starts to dry, if you're feeling like it's just got a little bit too much water, you can pick it up with like a paper towel. So be careful, like where I had powder here, I'm going to blow on it. There we go. Blowing on it is much better than wiping it, because if you wipe it, trust me, it just smears it. So I had some powder up here and I wanted it off without smearing it, so that's why I blew it away. All right, this one's turning out really nice. I really like this one. So we're going to let it dry, and we're going to move on to get the rest of our pieces of our card together. All right, so for this stamp set, Hold On to Hope, there is a coordinating framelit set that has a variety of crosses and sizes and kind of an embossed look as well. And we're using these two here, that's why I have it out already. But it's also got this kind of floral that cuts out this piece here. So there's a lot of, I really like it, and I love this banner shape here as well. So there you go. And we're going to cut these two out at the same time. So I like to place my small one on there first to kind of find where the magnets are and let that kind of sit where it needs to sit. And then this is going to sit over it. Now, just to make sure that it doesn't wiggle, we're going to put some washi tape over it. All right. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and run this through the Big Shot. And here we go. And so what we have left is essentially two crosses. We're going to use this one on our card, and certainly you could use this one on the inside of your card or another card. Okay, so for the stamping on this card, we're going to use the Stamparatus. And the reason for that is because I actually did this at one of my stamping classes, and it was easier to have this pre-set up for them. So let me talk through how I did that. So we're using this image here, and it has a matching framelit, which is right here. So I attached the stamp onto the Stamparatus, and then I inked it, and then I stamped it. Okay, so we're pretending right now. So pretend this is stamped. I took it to the Big Shot, and I put my matching framelit on it. Would have went this way, and I cut it. So then I had a die cut out like that, and then I took it back to my Stamparatus, stuck it back in the corner, which is where I had it stamped, put my magnets down, and then I had left the stamp exactly where I had it originally. I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to put one of these that I pre-cut. So I pre-cut a whole mess of banners. And so then everyone who came to the stamp class, all they had to do was put it in there, stamp it, and they're ready to go. Just like that. It's perfect placement every time. Gotta love that. And there we go. Perfect. So that's a great tip, especially if you are doing mass producing of cards. This is a great way to get perfect placement every time. Okay, so I pulled one of my dry ones here so that we can finish up the card. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a lot of adhesive. So I pretty much go around the entire edge. And then I do the middle. I really want, especially with, I know I'm going crazy, especially with watercolor paper, and you know, it dries mostly flat, but there's still just a bit of, some curves and bulges to it. So I want to make sure it stays nice and flat. So I'm going to burnish it a bit. Get all those adhesive to stay right in there. There we go. That looks great. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and place the cross on there, and I've already added adhesive on the back. So what I did is you can use the mini, these mini dimensionals, but they do stick out a little bit, and they required a little bit of cutting in certain areas. So what I ended up doing, if you look at your mini dimensionals, see where they kind of end, the end right here. This is an end piece. See, you have this whole gap over here that is that you can cut into strips. So that's what I did, is I cut it into strips. some thin, very thin strips to fit on here, and that's what I used, and it worked really slick. So we're going to go ahead and remove the backing. So yeah, we've got, so you've got a few uses for those mini dimensionals and how you can use them, and I love that. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And then I'm just going to use, I'll use some of the regular mini dimensionals. We want to kind of keep them to the ends here, because this is going to sit over, there we go, over the cross. And this comes together. It's a really simple card, but it's very beautiful. So you can see the different styles of the watercolor backgrounds from the Brushos. I've got 4 different ones here. They all look completely different, but they're all beautiful and stunning on their own. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's an easy tip your toe in to learn how to do Brushos, but there's so many other things out there that you can do it with. So I'm sure in the future I will have more videos on that, and be sure to stop by my blog at DOstampingWithDawn.com for lots of creative ideas. And if you're shopping for Stampin' Up! Product, I'd love to have you shop with me at DOstamping.stampinup.net. Thanks!